Good morning, sixth graders. Today's lesson is using a formula to find the volume of a sphere. Now, you all probably have many spheres that you use in your real life, especially if you're an athlete and you play basketball, golf, softball, baseball. But spheres are very common shapes that you see a lot, and we are going to find the volume of it. Hopefully you watched the intro video. I know the intro video was a little bit tricky to understand because she was pouring the water in the different shapes, but it really did show you how the volume of a sphere is developed using a cylinder. So I'm going to go through how the formula actually came to be. So we have a sphere here, we have a cylinder here. Of course, the cylinder is the exact same height as the sphere and they have the same radius. So you know that the formula for the volume of a cylinder is pi times radius squared times height. Well, if we're watching the video, you know that a sphere is 2/3 the volume of the cylinder. So what that means is you multiply 2/3 by this formula. So the volume of a sphere is 2/3 pi times radius squared times height. Well, when you look at a sphere, you realize that the height is really actually just two radiuses. So instead of using a height measure for a sphere, we actually replace the h with two radiuses because the height of the sphere is really just 2r. So then I substitute 2r in for h. Then that can be simplified a little bit. So if I multiply 2 times 2, that obviously gives me 4. And then 3 stays on the bottom, and then I have an r squared times another r, which simplifies to just be r cubed. So the simplified formula that we use for a sphere is 4/3 times pi times radius to the third power. And that formula was developed from using a cylinder and then simplifying the expression as much as we can. Now, 4/3 is obviously a fraction. If you have a fraction key on your calculator, go ahead and use 4/3. If you don't have a fraction key on your calculator, then just type in 4 divided by 3 times that by pi, and then times that by radius to the third power. And remember, we use that little up arrow key to use an exponent key for it. So that is the formula that we're going to be working with today to find the volume of spheres. First example says, find the volume of a sphere with a radius of 11 meters and round your answer to the nearest tenth. So it would be 4/3 times pi times 11 to the third power. And using the pi key on my calculator, I should get an approximate answer of 5,575.3 meters to the third power. Now, if you use 3.14, and that's fine, your rounding just will be off a little bit on this. You would just type in 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 11 to the third power, or if you have to, take 11 times 11 times 11 to get your approximate answer. You can pause the video and try getting this one on your own. Okay, one thing hopefully that you recognize is that they were giving you the diameter in this one, but you actually need the radius to find the volume of a sphere. So that means the radius is 8. So it would be 4/3 times pi times 8 to the third power, and it should give you an answer of 2,144.7 feet cubed as the volume of the sphere. Or if you think about it, it would be the amount of air that would take to fill up that sphere. All right, next example is a little bit trickier. Now it says, find the radius of a sphere with a volume of 2,304 pi cubic centimeters. Well, if we go back to the formula that we use, now they're giving me the volume and they want me to figure out what the radius is. So I'm going to have to work a little bit backwards for this one. First thing I did was put 2,304 pi in for volume, and then it's of course 4/3 times pi times radius to the third power. Now you'll notice that there are pi's on both sides. So then to eliminate the pi's, I just divided by pi on both sides, which then left me with 2,304 equals 4/3 times radius to the third power. Now I'm going to divide by 4/3 on both sides. Now again, if you have a fraction key, it makes it a little bit easier. But if you don't, you can get the same answer by taking 2,304 timesing it by 3, and then dividing it by 4. That's just using the reciprocal and multiplying by the reciprocal. But if you have a fraction key, 2,304 divided by 4/3 should give you an answer of 1,728. And that, since the 4/3 canceled, should equal r to the third power. Well, now reviewing back to last chapter, how do I undo r to the third power? Well, I cube root both sides. And the cube root of 1,728 should give me 12 centimeters. And that means the radius of the sphere with this volume is 12 centimeters. You can pause the video and do this one on your own. All right, to check this one, again, I replace 36 pi with volume equals 4/3 pi times radius to the third power. I divide by pi on both sides. That leaves me with 36 equals 4/3 r to the third power. Then I divide by 4/3 on both sides. 36 divided by 4/3 gives me 27. And then to undo r to the third power, I cube root both sides, and that leaves me with a radius of 3 meters. So that means that this radius here would be 3 meters long. Next up, we have some real-life applications. And some of you might recognize this if you go around on Alaska out to some of the farms in the area. This is a silo. And a silo is made up of a hemisphere on the top, and what a hemisphere is of course half a circle, and then a cylinder on the bottom. So a hemisphere is 1/2 of a sphere. The top of the silo is a hemisphere with a radius of 12 feet. What is the volume of the silo? And round your answer to the nearest 1,000. So we have a cylinder down here and we have a hemisphere up here, and I need to find the volume of both parts. Now they give me that this height here is 52, but that goes all the way to the top. But if I'm going to find the volume of the cylinder, I just need from there to there. So I actually have to subtract 12, because from there to there, that would be a radius of 12, which is what they give me. So the height of the cylinder is actually the height of the cylinder is actually 40, because 52 minus 12 is 40. So then I would do pi times 12 to the second power times 40, because remember the volume of a cylinder is pi times radius squared times height, and that gives me about 18,096. Then I have to do the hemisphere. Now the hemisphere, of course, is 4/3 times pi times 12 to the third power, but I have to divide that answer by 2 because it's a hemisphere, not a full sphere. That then works out to give me a volume of 3,619. Then, of course, I add those two parts together and I get 21,715. But it says to round my answer to the nearest 1,000, so this would be in the 1,000 place. I go to the digit next to it. It is greater than 5, so then I would round it to be about 22,000 feet cubed, and that would be the amount of space that would fill the silo up, including the top part of it. Okay, a couple on your own. These on your own are considered composite solids. So you can see that this one is made up of a cylinder, and then these two hemispheres would go together to make a full sphere. This one is a cylinder with a cone on top. You can pause the video and solve those two on your own if you would like. All right, to check those two composite solids, first thing I found was the sphere, because this hemisphere plus this hemisphere goes together to make a sphere. So that's 4/3 times pi times 2 to the third power, and that answer is approximately 33.5 rounded to the nearest tenth. Now the cylinder is a little bit tricky. A lot of times you think that that has a height of 8, but it doesn't. There is 2 right here and 2 right there. So if I subtract 4 from 8, that leaves me with 4 for the height of the cylinder. So pi times 2 to the second power times 4 gives me 50.3 rounded to the nearest tenth. Then I add 33.5 plus 50.3, and the volume of this composite solid would be 83.8 inches cubed. Second one here is a cylinder. We have a height of 9 and we have a radius of 3. So pi times 3 squared times 9 gives me 254.5. The cone has a radius of 3 and a height of 5. So pi times 3 to the second power times 5, but don't forget because it's a cone, it has to be divided by 3. That gives me 47.1. Then I add 254.5 plus 47.1, and that gives me 301.6 meters cubed as the volume of this composite solid. All right, to get started on your homework assignment, you're going to be doing page 690 to 691, numbers 1 through 16, and then 21 through 23. I'm not quite sure why that little mark was, or excuse me, that doesn't look like a comma, but it should be a comma right there. Let me just move this down a little bit. All right, to get started on it together, question number 1 says, how is a sphere different from a hemisphere? Well, a hemisphere is 1/2 of a sphere. That's what makes a hemisphere different from a sphere. Number 2 says, which one doesn't belong? Which figure does not belong with the other 3? And the one that does not belong with the other 3 is this one here, the sphere. And the reason why this one doesn't belong is because it does not have a base like the other ones, which is why we couldn't find the formula by basing it on the base length or the base area. We had to use the other formula, and we used the cylinder to derive the formula for a sphere. So again, the formula for a sphere is 4/3 pi times radius to the 3rd power. As always, remember you can email me any questions that you might have, and I'll help you figure them out. Talk to you later. Bye.